Is there anybody listening? Is there anyone that sees what's going on? Read between the lines, criticize the words they're selling. Think for yourself and feel.
Good morning and welcome back to the Trailer Park. I am Chanda-Masta, your host in the Trailer Park today. How is everybody today? I'm good. I see people are starting to file in. I am on YouTube today, so you know what that means. It'll be censored. I save everything up for Uncensored Friday now. So Fridays is going to be the best shows. And of course, those are not on YouTube. So join me on Friday if you want to see the bulk of the good shit I grabbed during the week. And you guys send me so much amazing stuff. Red Cloud, good morning. So glad to see you. It's Cold Fusion, or it's Gaming's hanging out. You guys should go follow his channel. I will tweet out his channel today so you guys can follow it. Gamer for Life. Hi, Gamer. I see Gamers hanging out. DC's hanging out over on the Rockfin. I'm still logged in as the Convo Couch over on the Rockfin, so I can't type anything. I always forget, and then it pops up Convo Couch. I'm like, God damn it. You guys, I'm so bummed. I should be in DC today. I should be in DC. Of all the trips we've taken to DC, this is the one I opted out of, and it was just fucking finances, man. It is such a major endeavor for me to go from my little podunk town on one coast all the way to the other coast. It costs me thousands, and it's hard to fundraise for, and it takes a couple of months. So sadly, I didn't get in on this one, but I'm there in spirit with all of my brothers and sisters who are fighting to free Assange. Of course, today is the 4-year anniversary of him being ripped out of the Ecuadorian embassy. And I know there's going to be so much good content today. I've got it all up on the deck. We're going to be live. There's going to be lots of other people live. I know there's going to be a lot going on from everybody. So I'm going to try to cover as much as that as I can. Oh, you look gorgeous in blossoms. Thank you. I love blossoms. I'm obsessed with blossoms, but I don't know about you guys. My allergies are effed this year. Oh my God. If you joined me yesterday and stayed till the end of the show, you got the pleasure of watching me wipe my nose and smoke pot because my camera blocks that little picture block that it puts me. It's like picture in picture. And so I had no idea that I was even on screen. And some people knew that. They were trying to get a hold of me like, hey, you're smoking pot on screen. It's who I am. I'll never hide who I am. I'm never going to pretend to be somebody else. So yeah, I have allergies and I smoked a lot of pot. I haven't smoked yet today though, so we're good. Let's see. I want to do fair use before we get anywhere. You guys like my Barbie cover picture? Of course, that's not Barbie, but I will be taking my granddaughter to see the new Barbie movie because she's obsessed, as all young girls are, right? Fair use. The clips I'm bringing, I am commentating on, I am reporting on, I am teaching on. Please go do your own research, form your own opinions, and don't base your opinion off of one person. I mean, go out there, find the receipts. And that's what this group does. Every time I say this, I just feel stupid because you guys are the most well-researched fucking audience out there on the internet. You really are. You guys know what's going on. Shit, sometimes you guys know better than I do. If you want to help me out and keep the lights on, you can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/trailer park. And yes, it's okay to call me Trailer Park. Some people think that it's rude, but I don't care. I don't care. Call me Trailer Park. Well, whatever. If it gets people to talk about the plight of people living in trailer parks, then fucking fine. Whatever. I'm good with it. And of course, my favorite of all is PayPal, because PayPal is like Christmas. It drops right into your account and you don't have no hassles with trying to get your money out a month later or 2 months later, like we see with so many of these platforms. Good morning, Aram. I wanted to say thank you so much for the donation last Friday. Yeah, it was last Friday. You you came in at the end and I didn't catch it. I'm so sorry, but thank you so much. And a shout out to Al Walski who hit my PayPal last week. Thank you so much. You guys, you save my life when you do that shit. I'm not even kidding. Like, oh my God, I have no gas to get to the, take the dog cat to the doctor or whatever. And boom, I have gas money. Or, it's just you guys save my life daily. And I appreciate it so much. So I will keep doing my job and I appreciate the support. Okay, so I want to get into the Assange stuff. Jennifer Coolidge, honey, why don't you stay? I don't care that you're trolling us. And why don't you stay and learn something? And yeah, I don't click the job revenue.com links that are putting in here, but if you want to stay and learn something, you're more than welcome. Good morning. Yes. Good morning. Good morning. Share this out. I don't think a lot of people knew I was coming on. And guess what, guys? I have a certain somebody stopping by later. I think about 11 o'clock. We might have the boomer, who, of course, is recovering from having his gall removed. Of course, he had gallbladder surgery. And it'll be the first time we've seen him since last week. So, yeah, he's going to stop by. We've got a big show coming up on Thursday, and he's going to explain it to you, what it is, who it's going to be, because honestly, I don't understand. So he's going to have to explain it to me too, but I will be there. So hopefully you guys can stick with me. I probably came in at the end because of Jennifer Coolidge. It's Jennifer. Jennifer is as persistent like a rash. Yes, Jennifer is. And you know what? If they stay and they learn something, well, more power, Okay, let's talk about what's going on in DC today. I do have a deck, but I want to talk about this at the top of the hour because it's going to be starting. I mean, people are already assembling. So if you are on the East Coast, if you are in DC, please get your ass down to the Department of Justice and just let them know that we're not going to have this. We're not standing for it. 4 years, more than fucking enough to realize that you guys are idiots and that you need to free Assange, that you have no charges on him. You've never had any charges on him. And this is completely political. And we all know it. The whole world knows it. So Stella Assange, free Assange now, says today marks 4 years in Belmarsh. Our family has been robbed of 4 years together, which we will never get back. He needs to come home. We need him home. We need him home now. His kids are aging every day. And for what? Telling us the truth. And of course, this is the Belmarsh. So this is at the Department of Justice, 10th and Pennsylvania Avenue. I've been there many times. And yeah, they're going to assemble out there. They've got a lot of great speakers. And I'm excited to watch the live feeds coming out of there. I do believe Roar Media does have a live feed up. Oh, where did it go? I had it. We do have a live feed. It's starting at 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, I believe is the time, which would make sense because it's 4 o'clock. It's when the rally's starting. So just in an hour and a half. So in an hour and a half, Roar will have a stream up, and there'll be lots of other streams up, I'm sure. I know you guys all want to watch. I want to watch. I want to hear the speeches. I want to hear what people have to say. But it's sad that we have to come together. It's sad that everybody has to stop what they're doing. This shouldn't have gone this far. For one, I mean, we were screaming for what, 7.5 fucking years when he was in the embassy. Enough. You don't have anything. These stupid charges you're making up are made up. He's not an American citizen. How can it be espionage if he's not an American citizen? But no, they had to fucking double down, and they doubled down under Trump. So I don't want to hear any of the, I'm glad that the Trump people are coming on board because, more people are realizing that this is, politically driven. But I just want them to free Assange, right? Do you think they ever will? I should do a poll. Do you guys think they'll ever free Assange? I don't do polls. I'm not that polly person. I don't do a lot of things. But I do this day in history. Let's check out what happened on this day in history. Let's go back. The furthest one is 1951. So U.S. President Harry S. Truman relieves General Douglas MacArthur of his command of the United States or the United Nations and the U.S. forces during the Korean War. I think that Reagan could have played him, or maybe Reagan did play him. I don't know. Looks like Reagan. McCarthy looks like Reagan, right? Yeah, let's see. 1961, the trial of Nazi leader Adolf Eichmann, yeah, begins in Jerusalem. 8 months later, it ended with the only death sentence ever imposed by the Israeli courts. So that was Nuremberg, right? Or was that separate than Nuremberg? If it was in Jerusalem, was it separate? You guys tell me. You guys are so smart. And oh, this one was a landmark one. 1976, the Apple I was released, of course. Boy, but look at how far we've come since 1976. Oh, in 1970, Apollo 13 was launched from Cape Kennedy. Well, we all know how that turned out, right? They had an oxygen tank explode and they were en route to the moon. And then the whole nation waited with bated breath for them to get home. Great movie. It was a great movie. Pronounced Eichmann. Eichmann. It's not with an R, it's Hike. Thank you, DC. You guys are the best. Yeah, let me know about that. Was that a separate thing than Nuremberg? Or was that Nuremberg? It was held in Jerusalem. I thought Nuremberg was Nuremberg. I don't know. Yeah, what do I got here? The FBI, internet slang like based and red pill is associated with extremism. Guys. Anymore, if we say anything, you just get thrown into a category. And yeah, are we surprised? No, we're not surprised. Why are we not surprised? Because these guys are the henchmen of the predator class. And when they want to decide to make up something, they can make it up. Apollo 13 was the one that carried Kevin Bacon and Tom Hanks. That's what I thought. Kevin Bacon stirred the tank and it blew up. Yeah. I think they are surprised that they've gotten away with prosecuting Assange as much as they have. Where is WikiLeaks? They have archived goals way beyond expectation. Yeah, Aram, I do agree with you. Where is WikiLeaks? I mean, I shared out one of their tweets this morning, but there is a lot of scrutiny over what the fuck. I hear you loud and clear on that one. I kind of got a slow show today. We're waiting for Oz. Oz is going to pop in and say hi. I'm excited. I've only talked to him once since he had his surgery. He seems to be doing really well, and I just want him to go slow. I don't want him to come back too fast. So, but he's got some big plans in the work, and he's going to stop by and tell us all about them in a little bit. So we'll do a couple of slides and talk about a few things, and then hopefully Oz will come in and he can give his opinion on these too. So, guys, there's more. There, there's been leaks. Right? There's been classified documents again that are out there that nobody's allowed to see. And this is the message from, well, the White House, ruling class, that you're not allowed to watch them. Now, I flashed back while watching this to the days of the 2016 WikiLeaks drops when CNN told us it was illegal to read the WikiLeaks. Do you remember that? I remember that. But these are made for you, so you're not allowed to read them. Check it out.
Again, without confirming the validity of the documents, this is information that has no business in the public domain. It has no business, if you don't mind me saying, on the pages of front pages of newspapers or on television. It is not intended for public consumption, and it should not be out there.
It's not for public consumption. It is not supposed to be on the front page of the newspaper. You are never supposed to know the terrible shit we are doing globally. That's basically what they said. Fred Edwards, you made it. You did make it. Yay, welcome. Oh, you know what? We're on the Rumbles. Maybe I should check out our Rumble. See if anybody's there. Whoa, why am I upside down? That's a crazy thing. My Rumble's literally coming in upside down. I've never seen that before. Why would it do that? That's so weird. Let me tweet this out so people can find us on the Rumbles. I don't know. Some people love Rumble. Some people don't. Well, we shall see. Okay. So yeah, more leaks that you're not allowed to know about. You're not allowed to look at. I don't know a lot about these yet. I haven't dove into any of the information. I just know I'm not allowed to look at the information. So I don't know. Is this something I want to dig into? It'll depend. It'll depend on what information's in it. I think that it's not hard to embarrass America with the amount of fucking terrible shit that we do around the world. So and then they get glossed over. Most of the journalists and mainstream media, the AP, they'll gloss over this unless it's too big for them to gloss over it. Look at Panama Papers. I mean, there was so much shit in the Panama Papers that could have taken down a ton of people, and it didn't. But we got a great movie out of Hollywood over it, right? Meryl Streep, she brought it home, right? And you're supposed to know how terrible these people are, but they stopped. They were the only ones with offshore accounts and moving money illegally and whatever. We'll see. I will keep an eye on this story and just see, if anything comes of it. Scott Ritter. I've been listening to Scott a good bit, and I think he has something really important to say about Julian. And so, there's been a lot of talk about trading Julian Assange's release for somebody else's release, right? And a couple other people. There's been, of course, this is just the stupidest question. Would Russia trade Julian Assange for the reporter that they just arrested for espionage? I'm like, what? Does that even make sense? That makes no sense. Why would okay. Well, let's hear Scott's answer on it, because it makes no damn sense to me.
Describes his homestead. There is a picture of Julian Assange that has escaped Belmarsh in the last few days.
Bullshit.
The first image since his 3-week extradition hearing of September 2020. Today marks his 1,000th day in Britain's Supermax. Not to equate them in any way, but would Julian be a good swap for Evan Gershkovich?
Man, look, anything that could get Julian Assange free from prison would be a good deal. But
True that.
Look, if I were an American official, I wouldn't do that. First of all, why would Russia want to? Julian Assange isn't a Russian citizen. Julian Assange is an ongoing political nightmare for the West. While Russia has some inherent humanity in their foreign policy, it doesn't extend to seeking to swap a foreign citizen wrongly accused of espionage by the United States, a foreign citizen who has no connectivity with Russia whatsoever, for a Wall Street journalist who was caught red-handed taking classified documents from somebody who shouldn't be giving it to him. Now, he is innocent until proven guilty. The investigation is still going forward. There's a chance the Russians will say this is all a big mistake and they'll release him. But the probability is that he's going to go to trial, where he'll be charged with espionage. And the Russians, if they're going to take it to trial, they have a very high conviction rate, and he'll probably be found guilty and be given a very long prison sentence for spying.
Exactly. And I agree with Scott. I mean, for one, it's just preposterous to think that Russia would even consider that a trade for a non-citizen of their country. I don't know. Would it be a smart move for Putin to grab Assange if he could? I don't know. That's something I would think about in the middle of the night, like what ifs, but that's not going to happen. And we know that's not going to happen. Reporters Without Borders were denied a visit with Assange. Yes, Julie, that was last week. How fucking terrible. And what they tried to say that they had biased because they're journalists, but they're not going in as journalists. They were going in as Reporters Without Borders to find out what the fuck is going on. And so I think that just really speaks to how he's a political prisoner. I mean, 100% a political prisoner. This is politically driven. We've all known that. You don't tell on Empire. And just like the DOD leaks that we're seeing this week, that's why I didn't bring any of the leaks or the information, because it hasn't been verified. It hasn't been vetted. The WikiLeaks, that's fucking far different for me. Those have been verified. Those have been gone over by mass journalists. We know the validity of them. I don't know the validity of the DOD leaks yet, but once we get a chance to get our hands on them, I'll look at them. I'll see what they're saying. Telling on the Department of Defense is pretty fucking easy because they're always doing something bad, always. And I got some things in the deck on that. I got a pretty not YouTube friendly deck today, and we'll just see if I take a hit for it. I'm just tired. I'm tired of playing YouTube's game. So I am only on Trailer Park Pundit. Of course, Beauty and the Boomer was shut down for 2 weeks. We're still on that shutdown. So we're not on Beauty and the Boomer, and I'm over it. I'm over YouTube. So come and get me. I'm so over it. I don't care. Oh, do this one. Did you guys see Alex Stein 99? Oh my gosh. So he is speaking at the New York government Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure. So this is the state government, right? That and of course, Alex Stein 99, he goes around the country and he uses comedy. He's a comic. It's comedian. He uses comedy to kind of bring attention and to show just how stupid some of this city council shit is, right? And so this is like a 4-minute clip. I cut it down and kind of just brought you the end of it because honestly, it was pretty cringe. I mean, he can get super fucking cringe, especially when he starts getting into, this is my wife's boyfriend, and he just it makes me cringe, but it makes me laugh too. And I understand that just because I don't agree with what he's saying, it's comedy. And if we shut down all speech, even if I don't like what you're saying, so you're not allowed to say it. I don't like a lot of what he's saying, but I'm not saying he's not allowed to say it. He does have some points though. And so he brings a homeless man from New York City with him. And this guy what's his name? GU Bum or IU Bum, something like that is his nickname. And he does these performances pieces with Alex Stein. And I'm just going to let you watch the last minute. I think it's the last minute of it. If you want to watch it, go hit it up on Twitter. I think it's even on YouTube, but I guess this is one way to get their attention, right?
Thank you, time.
Yeah, but everybody else got to speak past the time limit. So I just have a couple more minutes. So what I'm saying is, in this city, we have serious issues, and my songs aren't going to solve it. And we have Eric Adams in the nightclub, doing God knows what.
Sir, if you're not going to stay on topic, your time is finished.
I can't talk about Eric Adams? Is he not on topic?
We're talking about truck routes.
That's what I'm saying. So is Eric Adams not in charge of the city? Is he not in charge of the truck routes?
Are you finished with your
remarks? No, I'm not
finished.
I'm not finished. I just don't understand why everybody else gets to come here and pontificate for 5-10 minutes, and I try to talk about something, and you try to shut me down. Why is it? Is it because I'm a homosexual? Is it because I'm bisexual?
Thank you, sir.
Is that why? I think they don't like that I'm bisexual. All right.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I'm IG Bum. Please help the homeless. It's a serious situation out there. I have to deal with the trucks and all that as I'm trying to sleep on a box on 42nd, and I think it should be addressed. Homeless people are people too, and I'm a veteran of this country, titties and all.
Those are veteran titties. All right.
Titties and all, guys. That was veteran titties. I mean, these city councils, they put up with them. They entertain them because they have to, right? I mean, everybody has the right to public comment if you get signed up soon enough and, you get your allotted time. He had his allotted time. You could tell that they were irritated that he was using his allotted time. Does it bring awareness to the homeless situation in New York? Does it bring awareness to, the transportation? Some of it's just comedy. It's comedy. That homeless guy was with him in DC too. Yeah, Anthony, he was. I think that he calls him my wife's boyfriend. It's the funniest thing. So Alex Stein, go watch the whole thing. Tell me, do you think that this, gets anywhere? Is this a way to get your point across? Because we've really lost the ability to get our point across, right? It's just so diluted now. So go check it out. It was I had to giggle. I did have to.
Thank you, time.
Yep.
Come on. Let's not go. Let's go to the next one. Next one. This one's kind of funny. So Vice News, because Vice, Russian TikTok influencers are being paid to spread Kremlin propaganda. An investigation by Vice News uncovers a coordinated campaign to pay Russian TikTokers influencers to post videos pushing pro-Kremlin narratives. Now, I got to ask, did Vice do an investigation into American TikTok influencers and if they're being paid by the CIA to spread misinformation, or maybe the DOD? Just saying, there can't be one without the other. It's fucking Vice News. I got interviewed for Vice once. It was 2016. It was at the DNC convention, and I fucking hammered them with truth. Just fucking hammered them. And there's actually video of me doing the interview, but I've never seen the interview. Vice fucking trashed that shit as fast as I did it. Oh, what a time. What a time it was. I made Good Morning America that week too. I made CBN in Canada. Yeah, I was being pretty mouthy that day. And I wasn't in independent media. I mean, I had my phone with me and, we wanted the media to see us and hear us. So we were loud, but it wasn't like I was independent media like I am now. The Mexican government continues to nationalize key industrial industries despite U.S.'s objections. What? That's communism, right? Good for freaking them. Good for them. Yes, nationalize. If we would nationalize some of our shit, we wouldn't be having a problem, like our trains. Just saying. Why did my chat stop working? Let's see. I'm locked up. Am I locked up? I am locked up. Damn it, Janet. Oh well. I just stay locked up. I can't see my chat. That bums me out. Okay, let's talk about the Dalai Lama. We didn't talk about this yesterday, guys, because it was just too gross. Dalai Lama 87 apologizes after kissing young boy on the lips and asking the child to suck his tongue in a bizarre interaction captured on video at a charity event in India. And then, of course, the next day, the Dalai Lama apologizes for asking a young boy to suck his tongue. You guys, he put out a statement saying, "Hey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it." Did I bring it? I don't think I brought it. No, I didn't bring it. Anyways, yeah, he's like, well, you got to understand that he's just playful and that's how he interacts with kids. And I'm screaming, groomer. But we've been saying that about Dalai Lama for a long fucking time, guys. We have been. But I love Cynthia McKinney's response. This is beautiful. She says he should be apologizing for accepting CIA money for years. Oh, burn, Cynthia, burn. And then, of course, who had Dalai Lama tongue sucking for 2023? Of course, that will go down for this month, for this year. And Catholic priests, after finding out about the Dalai Lama, stay out of my territory. God, that's so terrible. How can we even laugh about it? How can I even laugh about it? It's fucking going on. It's all around us. We report it constantly, right? But you're just a crazy conspiracy theorist if you think that we are ruled and controlled by a bunch of kid diddling freaking Satanists, right? That's what it is. That's what it is. So we tell you every day, so many of us do, and we're just crazy. We're just crazy conspiracists. Yeah. Awkward. Yes, DC. How awkward. Ugh. Well, when you look at the history of the Dalai Lama, don't they just like decide when some kid is like fucking young, like the age they like them young, that hey, he's the next Dalai Lama, and then they just kind of rip this kid out and control. I mean, is that how this plays out? I can't remember. I haven't done a lot of research on it, but it seems like that's what it is. So am I shocked? No. Grooming is a repetitive cycle and always has been. That's why we continue to have this problem. Oh yeah, did you see the Biden one? Biden and the Dalai Lama making out? Ah, so cringe, but not as cringe as this. So it looks like we have another contender that's about ready to throw down for the 2024 election. We saw it coming, you saw it coming, and here he comes. And of course, that would be Gavin Newsom. We'll talk about it. Let's play the clip and then we'll talk about this guy.
But they are rolling back rights in real time.
Yeah.
On voting rights, on civil rights, LGBTQ rights. They're rolling back rights on abortion. They're rolling back rights on contraceptives. And they're doing it state after state. It's a full-on assault. These bathroom bills, the othering, the us versus them mentality, the trans community, the obsession with drag shows. And they're winning and they're scaring people into submission. And there's a hierarchy, a framework of power and dominance and aggression that they're advancing. And again, they're winning in these states. And they're also trying to nationalize these wins with the, judge shopping in Amarillo, Texas, judge shopping down in San Diego, California, where we have a Judge Benitez, who's likely going to throw out our assault weapons ban, obviously with the Miffy drug and the impacts that could have on medical abortion. So you're 100% right. But the prism to which I see the world is not always top down. It's also bottom up.
Yeah, okay.
And Dobbs obviously helped us in the midterms, but I hope we don't get lulled into some semi-conscious, semi-confidence where we lose consciousness of this rights regression that is happening across our country.
He just said they're scaring people into submission. Isn't that what you fucking did with your mandate? So, you know, you guys, I've got a whole list of contenders out there for the Antichrist, and this guy is definitely on it. He's for sure, right? The Antichrist is going to have to be charismatic. He's going to be loved by the people. He's going to be hated by the people. He's going to rule the people. I don't know. Is he on his way to the White House? We know they can't run Biden, right? They're pretending we're just steaming ahead like Biden is good to go. He's mentally got his faculties and he's going to run again in 2024. He's going to run the best campaign you ever saw, just like his 2020 campaign when he got to hide in his basement for most of the time that he was supposed to be out on the campaign trail. And when he was on the campaign trail, there'd be like 30, 40 people showing up. So the Democrats know that they're in hot water with Biden, and they got a couple of avenues that they can take, and they're definitely waiting to take that avenue, right? Will they put Harris forward? You know, we saw Newsom polling at 6% in the stupid BS polls that I had yesterday. Yeah, I think he's been doing the rounds. He's showing up a lot. He's getting his platform out there. So that tells me, yeah, he's getting ready for a run. But I'm not counting Hillary out either because her face is out there. Her platform is out there. And yeah, so who will it be? But yeah, my short list of Antichrist is, let me tell you, of course, it's Elon. Elon, you know, even his nanny said he's the Antichrist just by what he was doing as a small child. Apparently, he had a problem. And I think all serial killers have the same problem with maybe small animals, was kind of the impression I got from that interview. So, and of course, if you have to look at the book of Revelations, and it says, you know, the Antichrist will be beloved, and then he'll be hated, and then he'll unite the world, right? And then you'll see his true face, and the whole world will be terrified over who he is. So Elon's kind of contender. Who else? Obama. I think Obama definitely has a good shot. He's been on my short list for 10 years, at least 12 years, 13 years. You know, he has the charisma to get people fired up. And could he lead the world? I could see other countries falling for Obama's shit. You know, just saying, something's coming. Not JFK Jr. They hate him. Yeah, no, they're not going to get behind JFK Jr. And that's people are like, don't you like what JFK had to say? At least he's calling them out for this. He's calling them out for that. For one, I cannot get behind electoral politics any longer. I just spent 6 years as an elected Democrat. I know how it works. I've seen how the sausage is made. And I'm here to tell you guys that we don't get to partake in that at all. We get to pretend like we do, but we don't get to. And you know what I'm alluding to with that. So for one, I'm not even going to do the electoral politics BS. And for two, the Democrats are not going to let this guy. Look at the deep state, right? The deep state's a made up thing. Well, I think we know after the years of Trump that the deep state is not a made up thing. I mean, Chucky Schumer came out and said they got 6 ways to Sunday to screw you if you don't do what they say. The deep state is never going to let somebody like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. come in. I mean, like I've told a million of my friends in the last couple of weeks when they've sent me, Hillary's not on your list. Absolutely, Hillary is on my short list for sure. Yes, you know they. Oh, I just lost my train of thought, damn it. Yeah, see, I read my chat and then I get lost. So yeah, they're never going to let him be. The CIA will do the same thing that they did to his father, sadly, to him if he starts running his mouth. And watching the interviews that I have with him lately, and I've been a big supporter of his, especially the last couple of years, you know, the Children's Health Defense, he does an amazing thing. You know, the Defeat the Mandates, that's amazing, great. I'm so glad somebody's calling Big Pharma out that understands what Big Pharma is doing and how they have captured and purchased our whole entire electoral system. But they'll shut him down, guys. They will shut him down if he gets too mouthy about anything. But he won't. He's pretty much said that he'll play by the Democrats' rules. Go watch the interviews with him. He's a Democrat. He's a lifelong Democrat. He was born into this system. He knows this system. So I don't know. Is he delusional like Marianna Williamson, who thinks that she's just going to beat a corrupt system? I don't know. Is he, or is he just trying to have a voice out there to get on these platforms and talk about these things? Because of course I support that. I 100% support the information getting out. But do I think he has a flying chance with the Democratic Party? F no. I mean, if it wasn't for Elizabeth and Jared Beck, we wouldn't know that they could go in a smoke-filled back room by themselves and pick their candidate just because they're an organization. Their charter has no responsibility to its members 100%. And I know the Democratic Charter inside and out. I mean, every central committee has their own, every state committee has their own, but they all go lockstep with the DECCC. So, we'll watch, we'll report it, but no, I don't think. Yeah, and his warmonger daddy too, DC. I agree. They're all politicians at the end of the day. Do I like that he's saying shit about COVID and Big Pharma? Yeah, I do. But am I delusional and thinking that he's going to win and he's going to get in there and change everything like I did with Bernie? I was delusional enough, and I was so ill-informed about our election system and participating in our elections. I just thought, well, I go vote every 2 years, 4 years, I'm doing my part, and I'm sure our elected officials are doing their part. But once I got in and saw it for what it really is, I was just like, oh my God, we're all duped. We're all been duped, man. Duped from the day I was born. Let's see. I don't know who this person is, but bombshell reporting shows Biden's White House involved with Trump Mar-a-Lago raid. Are you guys fucking shocked? You think? Yeah, I saw this. I saw multiples of these articles bouncing around yesterday, and they seem to be on the right. A lot of the right-wing Twitter people were putting these up, kind of like, oh, we told you so. That the FBI was involved. They had direct contact with the Biden White House about how they were going to raid and what they were going to do, and whatever. You think? I think we all know that the Democrats in the Biden White House, that this is a politically driven attack on Trump. We all know that. The obvious, my God, the obvious. What? Oh, it's like, how the hell did I get David Sirota there? Yeah, let's talk about AOC and David Sirota. More BS, guys. More BS. So, Sandy. Let's hear from Sandy and Sirota.
At one point, you had said, and this I think is a quote, in any other country, Joe Biden and I would not be in the same party. However, you, for instance, have voted 91% of the time with the Biden administration.
Exactly.
Spending, I think it was $40 billion on the Ukraine war, billions of dollars to microchip companies that have been criticized for using the cash to do buybacks. You and a group of progressives also didn't withhold your vote on the American Rescue Plan when the Biden administration.
I just got to pause that and tell you that's because she thinks she knows better. I know better. I had to vote for these things.
Kind of abandoned the minimum wage. So the question is, how can you hold your party accountable when you and progressives in the Congress are oftentimes voting for what the party leadership wants and not, or very rarely, sometimes, but rarely holding out your vote when the party really, really needs it?
There are times where we do break with the party on Build Back Better. That was a year-long war that we had inside our party. And listen, there were moments where the President of the United States was on the speakerphone with us saying, you need to do this. The pretense that the president had on this is vote for Biff and trust me, I will get Build Back Better across the line. And it's not that I don't trust you, it's that I don't trust Joe Manchin. And I don't know if I trust anybody to be able to bring consistency out of a person who does not have any. When it comes to the rail vote, for example, we worked very closely with all elements of rail workers, both not just the Teamsters, not just some of the other formal unions, but also members of the unions that were rebelling against the initial round of these agreements. It is so important, especially among the left, that we develop a discernment between when there are differences in strategy, sometimes they are intense, versus equating that difference in strategy with somehow a 180 change in commitment. Trust me, there is so much money and so much interest invested in sowing chaos on the left. And I do believe that there are times where we have fallen for it. That being said,
you always fall
that
for it.
criticism is fair.
The criticism is fair. First of all, David Sirota is a weaselly little weasel. And those were softball questions he was throwing at her. And all I heard her say was, Biden told me I had to vote for it. That's all I heard her say. She said a couple of big words in there, pontificate. Yeah, she's a part of it, DC. She is a part of it. I mean, she is being groomed and brought up to replace Mama Bear, right? Because Mama Bear loved to talk about things like universal health care back in the late 60s and, you know, all the things that we're still fighting for and they're still trying to sell us, but they're never going to actually get or actually fight for. You know, here we are 60 years later, you know. Will AOC age well? Yeah, she will. She'll be able to get the money to get the injection. So she'll look as good as Pelosi. Prince Harry's, what is it? NCG says all of Prince Harry's names add up to 666. Yeah, but Harry's just in line for the throne. You know, that's another one that's on my list is King William. He will be king soon enough, right? He's another one that could possibly lead a new world order, right? It's going to have to be a figure that all of the global leaders would say, okay, this is the one person that everybody could get on board with. So yeah, I don't know how Prince Harry could get there. How would Prince Harry get to be head of a new world order? I could see William, but not Harry. But Harry is the evil one out of the two, from what I understand, right? I used to be obsessed in the 80s and 90s with the royalty, right? Like most Americans, they showed us 8 hours of Di's wedding, you know, and everything was Princess Di. And oh my gosh, don't you wish we had a princess? You know, we don't have a princess, so we have to love their princess, that type of shit. And once you wake up to the years and the centuries of occupation and just terrible shit that they have done for years and years. I mean, it literally goes back like 2,000 years with those guys. Well, since the freaking Rome bugged out and left them on their own, ever since then they've been kind of having a problem. Anyway, so everyone knows they don't eat sheep. Let me see if I can bring this little meme up. It's kind of cute. I think you guys would like it. Everybody knows I don't eat sheep. In fact, I eat way less sheep than anybody. I have a fabulous relationship with the sheep. He helps protect us from the sheep eaters. Oh, come on, Mom. Nobody is that dumb. The sheep are the wolves. Yes, people are that dumb. Unfortunately, they fall for it. Divide and conquer, right? I brought a little update from Ron Paul, even though I'm not a big Ron Paul fan, but I think he's got a point. Well, I don't think he has a point, and I'm going to show you that. But I mean, everybody thinks that peace in the Middle East has broke out, right? Oh, peace in the Middle East, it's here, even though America doesn't want it. It's happening, but is it really happening? We'll talk about it.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the weekly report. Peace is breaking out in the Middle East, and Washington is not happy. While we were being distracted by the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war, and Washington's increasing involvement in the war, tremendous developments in the Middle East have all but ended decades of U.S. meddling in the region. Peace is breaking out in the Middle East, and Washington is not at all happy about it. Take, for example, the recent mending of relations between Saudi Arabia and formerly bitter adversaries Iran and Syria. A China broker deal between the Saudis and Iran has them reestablishing full diplomatic relations with the foreign ministers of both countries meeting in Beijing last week. It is the highest level meeting between the two countries in 7 years. Additionally, Riyadh is expected to invite Syria back into the Arab League, and Syria President Assad may attend the next Arab League summit. Syria was suspended from the Arab League 12 years ago when the U.S. allies in the Middle East signed on to Washington's Assad must go policy that wreaked havoc across the region. And the nearly decade-long war in Yemen, which has devastated that population, appears to finally be ending as Saudi Arabia is expected to announce an end to its U.S.-backed war on that country. Troops from the United Arab Emirates are leaving Yemen, and a Saudi delegation is arriving to negotiate a peace deal. To normal people, the idea of peace breaking out in the Middle East is a wonderful thing. But Washington is anything but
Washington is anything but happy about it. Welcome, Oz the Boomer. How you doing?
Good. I'm here. I'm ready for World War IV. Or have we finished World War III yet, or we started it? What's going on?
Apparently on Easter, Trump tweeted out World War III. So
Oh, okay. Well, I believe everything Trump says.
No.
How you doing, Chanda?
How you doing? Of course, this is your first time back since you had your goal removed. So I keep calling
I feel like somebody took a rolling pin and a mallet and pounded
That's what
it
they
through my
did.
stomach. It's like pain, man.
Yeah.
And I forgot that you're supposed to take the painkillers after your surgery, not 2 or 3 days after the surgery. So,
that's what I was telling you.
What's going on? So it's good to see everybody here supporting Trailer Park Pundit. I couldn't get in your deck. I couldn't even find it today, so I didn't know where you were on the grand scheme of things.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. So anyway, so what's up? What's going on?
Of course, we've got the action for Assange happening in DC today. I know we got something going on for Roar. We're gonna live stream that. Is that what's going on?
I don't know.
I see a card up, so I'm assuming Amber took care of it then.
Yeah, I hope so.
I figured you were in on it.
No, I don't know if I'm in on it. Then I was half drugged up. I always wake up at drug 30 these days since I'm taking that.
You are sleeping a little later for sure.
Oh my gosh, I woke up at 5 minutes to 9 this morning, and usually I wake up at 5 minutes to 6.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, so
well,
it's
I'm glad you're feeling better. Hey, Oz, the chat's happy to see you. Hello, Oz. Everybody's shouting out, saying hi.
I want to thank everybody for the good wishes and get well soon things that I've seen across the spaces. I really do appreciate it. And if you got things going on, get them checked soon. Don't let them last too long or they'll just get worse. So,
well, and our healthcare system seems to be getting worse too. So
yeah, it is getting worse. My doctor looked like he had been rode hard and put away wet. They're understaffed.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
It can't be good for our health, right?
Yeah, it's difficult, and we need to keep hammering whether you're out for universal health care for all, fully funded, or some call it Medicare for all, but it needs to be better than Medicare for all.
It needs to be better than
it needs to be much better than
we're
all for it. We support it 150%. So
are you kidding? I lost my insurance. I was one of the people that got kicked off on the 31st, and I take $250 worth of hormone replacement every month, and my meds are due. Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out, and you can't take one hormone without the other hormone because that's when you get cancer. If I go and take just the cheap one, then it'll cause cancer to go rampant. So now I'm trying to figure it out, because I was on natural ones, but they weren't helping. So fuck, here we go again. I was miserable. You remember how I was 8 months ago when I went on hormone replacement. I just wanted to die, and I do not want to go back there. So we'll find out in a couple of days how I'm going to do coming off of these. I hate being on big pharma meds anyways, but hey, if it saves your life and makes you feel better, then I guess
just remember the pharmaceutical industrial complex owns you and your body.
They do.
We're as close to Soylent Green as it gets, everybody.
We're eating Soylent Green.
I'm all for recycling. So, but that's a little bit much.
We were talking about the Prince I don't know how we got there, but the King Charles, he travels with his own food. So if he is on the road, he's got a whole entire, chef team with him, and he literally brings his food with him. So if he's in Africa, he's not eating an African steak. If he's in Paris, he's not eating. He brings his own food with him. Why? Because they know how corrupt and how disgusting our food supply is, how much poison is in it, right? That's all that tells me.
It is. It's pure poison. It's not something out of a Star Trek show. It's terrible. Sugar is the devil. It truly is the devil, and that's. And
I'm so addicted to it. I need a fecal transplant, so I'll stop craving sugar because I crave sugar as a recovering opiate addict.
That makes your brain produce those those feel good things going on in your head.
Oh
So,
God,
yeah.
I need sugar. I need sugar now. You gonna stick around for a few? You want to do a couple slides, or you want me to go and catch up with what we're here to talk about?
I'll hang out. I think you're
Okay.
doing great. I'll shut up and
No,
say
I want
hi
your
to-
opinion. We haven't done a show in like over 2 weeks, so I
Yeah.
miss you bouncing off of you. It's hard to carry a show by yourself.
Oh,
I'm
you've been doing a
learning.
great job. Love
Ugh,
the Johnny
I'm
Vedmore
learning.
show, and
Oh,
you know,
thanks. Johnny was
that's
fun. Johnny was fun. So was Uncle Warren. I had Uncle Warren on
I
yesterday. That
saw
was
that
fun.
yesterday. Yeah, I was out of it, but I watched it. Looks like you and Uncle Warren had a good time.
We did have a great time, and he's so kind. He even thanked me, and I don't ever get that. Like, hey, thanks for coming on or having me on. I know people don't normally do that, so it's nice to be recognized. So this was a two-parter. Of course, I just brought Ron Paul saying that peace was breaking out in the Midwest or the Midwest. Yeah, I wish. Do you think peace is really breaking out? You've seen what's happening in Israel, right? I've seen what's happening in Israel. So I brought a Max Blumenthal Gray Zone because if you didn't see what happened last week in Israel, this is very telling of the end days, guys, and what they're trying to do. So there might be peace in other places, but they definitely don't want peace in Israel.
Occupation forces had written numbers on the arms of men it arrested in occupied cities, and this became a big scandal in Israel because, of course, Jews were
wait, guys.
had numbers tattooed on their arms in the
I don't know why it
concentration
started
camps of
there.
Nazi Germany, but we can see this practice.
Okay.
Well, let's set the scene a little bit. I mean, most of our viewers know there's the most right-wing or religiously extreme coalition in power in Israel, with members of the Otzma Yehudit or Jewish Power Party who are acolytes of the fanatical hate preacher Rabbi Meir Kahane, the late hate preacher Meir Kahane, in Benjamin Netanyahu's coalition. So Netanyahu is previously seen as kind of a extreme figure, is actually the moderate in this coalition holding things together. And these are figures who want to invade the Al-Aqsa compound and usher in a third Jewish temple in order to bring about the messianic redemption of the land of Israel. These are some of the most dangerous and fanatical figures that have ever been in an Israeli governing coalition, which in some ways lifts the mask on what Zionism has always been. But we'll get into that. Let's just set the scene with what happened on April 4th and April 5th at the Al-Aqsa, inside the Al-Aqsa Mosque, when Israeli security forces violated the status quo. I'll explain the status quo in a second, but let's just see some video of what took place. I mean, these are Israeli forces, Palestinian worshipers with rifle butts on the night of April 4th, on Tuesday night. And they are trying to force them out. Here's Israeli forces beating Palestinian men as they attempted to leave the mosque. It's sort of like a ritual beating. Those are the Magav, the border police, who patrol East Jerusalem, the occupied East Jerusalem in the Old City. And you can see here that this is Issa Amro from Hebron, noting that the Israeli police used numbers to identify the detained worshipers from the Al-Aqsa Mosque, those they arrested that night. And then the following day, this is probably April 5th. Yeah, this is April 5th. Where'd they get that idea for numbers from? Previously, during the Second Intifada, Israeli occupation forces had written numbers on the arms of men it arrested in occupied cities. And this became a big scandal in Israel because, of course, Jews had numbers tattooed on their arms in the concentration camps of Nazi Germany, but we can see this practice returning. So it's kind of like never again, but conditions apply.
Oh, that is scary because that's what's prophesized, right? For the second coming of Christ, right? They have to build that third temple. And in order to build that third temple, they have to remove these people out of the way and take control of it, right? It's Christianity against, the Muslims. And
Isn't that prophecy say something about the Middle East being on fire?
Yeah, it says a lot of crazy things, but the thing is when and being a Jew, the whole number thing, my Aunt Sophie, she still had her number on her arm. They escaped straight out of Budapest. And so I was always aware of that. So it was so freaking shocking to me when they did that a couple of years ago, right? When they were numbered. I'm like, what the fuck are they thinking? Why are they doing that? Why are they acting the same way that they say they were oppressed and hurt, but then they're just doing it again? Well, it's because they have to bring about the second coming of Christ. And they can't do that unless they rise the temple. And here's the thing, that temple's going to go up fast when they do get a hold of that land. They want the Temple Mount, right? Because they already have it laid out. They have the specs laid out. They have the materials bought. They even have it planned down to the fucking tablecloths inside the goddamn temple. They are ready. I mean, people are like, no, yes, they've had it ready to go for a long time. So it can happen like that. I mean, as soon as they take control, that temple could go up. And that's scary to me, knowing the Christian doctrine. That's scary. That's what scares me. This is what scares me more than anything else I'm seeing in the Mideast. For sure. I want to read a couple chats. Amber says Oz is on vacation. She took care of it. So yeah, you guys can join Roar Media at 1:00, which is in about an hour and 50 minutes, to watch the live streams coming out of DC's. Of course, the Assange rally at the Department of Justice, 4 years. So we talked about it a lot. And thank you, Amber, for taking care of that. Amber also said something good I wanted to. If you ever give us anything based on all of our policies and fundings, I would want to do with the system of sick is all pay to play transhumanism. Yes, I do. I absolutely believe that medicine is being pushed into a transhumanistic freaking corner, right? Nanotech and mRNAs, and we're going to talk about that, but we got to be careful. But
that's right. They're going to hand it off to AI, so don't worry about it.
Yeah,
it's
AI
in process now. Yeah.
Well, from people I'm talking to, they're saying AI isn't what we think AI is at this point.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It can't even get there till the year 2070. Go watch my interview with Johnny Bedmore. He got into it, and he's just like, we're being sold a bunch of bullshit that AI is this capable, when really it's just us, right? It's just us. I think you'll like this one, Oz. This is a woman who's had it. 78-year-old woman charged with third bank robbery since 1977.
Right on.
That's where we're at.
Most 78-year-olds are posting pictures of their grandkids on Facebook, but not Bonnie Gooch. Nope. At age 78, Bonnie allegedly robbed a bank last week in Harrisonville, Missouri. Police say she slid the teller a note demanding $13,000 in small bills and closing with, "Thank you, sorry, didn't mean to scare you." She allegedly wore an N95 mask with sunglasses and plastic gloves, and surveillance video caught her banging on the counter, asking the teller to hurry up.
Damn boomer.
Police stopped her 2 miles away. They say she reeked of alcohol, and cash was all over the floorboards of the car. And while you are never too old to learn new things, it seems this wasn't so new for Gooch. She was convicted of bank robbery the first time in California back in 1977. And she was convicted again just 3 years ago at the tender age of 75. Back then, she was sentenced to probation. Last we heard, Bonnie Gooch was still in jail on the current charge, bail set at $25,000. We are going to keep you posted on what happens this time around.
I'm going to take a guess and say it was probably easier for her to rob the bank in 1977 than it has been the last few times.
Yeah, and it's hell that seniors have to go to such lengths to get housing.
That was
anymore.
the point of why I brought it. Like,
Yeah.
This is the desperate measures that people are forced to go to,
Yeah, and no kidding. This is not so uncommon as you might think. People do. They go do stuff to get thrown in jail. Remember, Shanda? There's been times when people just needed a place to flop and they were tired and needed to be cleaned up, and they just go pull a misdemeanor to get them thrown in the jail for short.
Well, at 13,000, that sounds like she had something she needed to take care of. Maybe she was being evicted. Maybe she
probably
had
paying a
health
medical
problems.
bill.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Probably
Go
needed
figure.
some kind of medical care. It sounded
Yeah.
like she had a round number she needed. And yeah, this is just indicative of our broken, disgusting system. And I'm sure somewhere along the line, there's something that has pushed her in this situation.
Oh yeah, I Don't even get me started. I'm just me.
I'm glad you came to hang out for a second. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out how much more. Let's do the chemtrail one. I'll get into the whole Daybell case Friday. I'm gonna do like maybe a 20-minute segment and get you guys up to date. That's a huge case that's going on in the country right now. It's in Idaho.
I saw that. Yeah.
And of course, it's a tangled web. I have been on that case since day one when those kids were first reported missing. So it's been years. We've been waiting for this trial for almost 4 years now, 5 years. So I will get you guys all caught up. But I wanted to bring this. So we're always talking about chemtrails. Take a look at this guy's garden and the skies above it. Wait for it. Here it comes.
So we went from a beautiful sunny day with blue skies and puffy white clouds to a hazy sky, as you see here. Comment down below if you know why that is.
Do you know why that is?
I don't know, but I'm sure I saw the mummy's face in that last cloud that went over there.
I'm a cloud watcher, and I have been a cloud watcher since I was a kid. I was raised a holy roller, like, Assembly of God, and my aunts in the early 90s were obsessed with clouds and wispy clouds and seeing God in the clouds. I'm not even kidding. And so the whole family for 10 years would do nothing but take pictures of the sky and look, there's an angel, and look, there's, Jesus with his scepter and whatnot. So I've been staring at the skies for a long time, and they've changed since the 90s. They really, really have changed. And living on the West Coast the way I do, I'm right close to the ocean. It seems like they start here, so that way the clouds will push across the country, or, at least push across. And every day, X marks the spot. Come on, these are not condensation coming from the back of planes. We've proven that many times. But not only that, the CIA has admitted to geoengineering. They've admitted it to the Congress. I mean, there's video of them testifying that yes, it exists, and yes, we've been able to do it. It has existed for a long fucking time. There's some who say it's existed since World War II. And if you go back and you look at some of the wars that we've had since then, Korean War, Vietnam War, some say that some of that was weaponized. The Tet Offensive. Look at how it torrentially downpoured on the Tet Offensive, which was crucial to slowing them down because they were kicking our ass, right? So they unleashed the weather on them. So I brought a little clip from CIA director admitting that geoengineering, aka chemtrails, is real. So let's check it out.
Another example is the array of technologies, often referred to collectively as geoengineering, that potentially could help reverse the warming effects of global climate change. One that has gained my personal attention is stratospheric aerosol injection, or SAI, a method of seeding the stratosphere with particles that can help reflect the sun's heat in much the same way that volcanic eruptions do. An SAI program could limit global temperature increases, reducing some risks associated with higher temperatures and providing the world economy additional time to transition from fossil fuels. This process is also relatively inexpensive. The National Research Council estimates that a fully deployed SAI program would cost about $10 billion yearly.
No, that ain't nothing.
As promising as it may be, moving forward on SAI would also raise a number of challenges for our government and for the international community. On the technical side, greenhouse gas emission reductions would still have to accompany SAI to address other climate change effects, such as ocean acidification, because SAI alone would not remove greenhouse gases from the atmosphere. On the geopolitical side, the technology's potential to alter weather patterns and benefit certain regions of the world at the expense of other regions could trigger sharp opposition by some nations. Others might seize on SAI's benefits and back away from their commitment to carbon dioxide reductions. And as with other breakthrough technologies, global norms and standards are lacking to guide the deployment and implementation of SAI and other geoengineering initiatives.
So why would he be at the Council of Foreign Relation saying this shit if they're not actually doing this shit?
Yeah, this is social conditioning at its best. That's what it is. It all is. So they're doing it. I trust any government with a grain of salt anymore. So
yeah, I know. I don't trust any government.
Yeah. It's just bullshit.
AM Wake Up has got a campaign going where to snap a picture of the, X's in your area and post them. I can't remember what the hashtag is, but if you go dig through their account, you'll find it. And I've posted a couple because every day I walk out, beautiful blue sky, and then, a couple hours later after they hit us, it's just hazy and white, just like that. It never used to be like that. I've even been told that they're going back in old movies and digitally implanting chemtrails in the background. So that way we can't go and prove like, oh, hey, look, no movie before 1975 had a chemtrail in the background. So they went and they digitally put chemtrails into the backgrounds of some movies. Now, call me conspiracy, but I could see them doing that in Hollywood.
Welcome to the Truman Show.
It is the Truman Show, right?
God, this is nuts. This is crazy.
Oh, this next story. I had this story on the deck yesterday. We didn't get to it. This is sad, guys. This is so sad. Of course, Kensington Avenue and the trank drugs that I've been telling you guys about, it's changing. Do you know the number one leading cause of death for people under 50 is now overdoses, Oz?
I'm not surprised.
We called it 3 years ago. But yeah, this is Philadelphia. Let's check it out.
This place is the epicenter of Philadelphia's opioid crisis, the largest open-air drug market in the Northeast. Poisoning the drug supply here is thiazide, also known as trank. It's an animal tranquilizer that sedates while getting you high and leads to both intense withdrawals and severe wounds.
Sleep on the streets, do drugs there. It's unacceptable.
This is a humanitarian crisis.
Pennsylvania's opioid epidemic. Kensington is ground zero. To Kensington Avenue, and you can smell the rotting flesh. Its all streets are lined with garbage. It's that smell infection, and there are unhoused.
This is America.
Violence can be found in 90% of Philadelphia's dope supply.
Suffering from addiction. In Kensington, a neighborhood in Philadelphia.
Struggling with substance use disorder.
Here in Kensington.
In Kensington, the ravaging effect of these drugs.
This is a humanitarian crisis.
This isn't just a Kensington problem. This is an American problem. That we would allow in this rich of a nation for this to be taking place.
But COVID,
well, Kensington will have more resources. Pennsylvania got $2.2 billion in a settlement with the drug companies that fueled the opioid crisis. $7.5 million allocated to Kensington, like more wound care vans and mobile methadone clinics. Suffering from addiction. In Kensington, a neighborhood in Philadelphia.
Struggling with substance use disorder.
Here in Kensington. On a given day, 400 to 800 people are on the streets here looking for their next high. But Kensington is also home to thousands of families, their lives impacted by this crisis. Every day here are scenes of heartbreak. Philadelphia had its highest death toll ever from unintentional drug overdoses in 2021. Curtis Benson is looking for his daughter. She's addicted to opioids and has been missing for 3 weeks.
She had got about 9 months clean, and it just took a turn for the worse. I just need to know that she's still amongst the living. I just don't know what else to do.
According to the Philadelphia Police Department, fathers like Curtis are a common occurrence here.
We get it once or twice a day. You'll have parents come up, grandparents, aunts, uncles, showing us pictures.
Philadelphia had its highest death toll ever from unintentional drug overdoses in 2021.
So that is Morals Over Money. Please go follow that channel. They're doing amazing work, especially on Kensington. But this isn't just Philadelphia. This is a story that's happening all over. And it's not just in the US. I watched an hour-long special last night on Vancouver. God damn, Vancouver's always had it bad. They had it bad in the 70s and 80s with heroin, but they've got it really fucking bad with fentanyl now. And we've seen Trank show up in Miami. It's only a matter of time before it floods the rest of the country. Drugs always move this way. They start out in certain spots and then they get to the rural areas. So it's only a matter of time before we start seeing Trank in rural areas. And the thing about Trank is it comes with those huge lesions and sores. Basically, it's necrosis. Your body is rotting out. I'm so fucking thankful that I got clean when I did. I know my addiction was strong enough to take me to a place like that. And none of those people want to be there at all, and I understand that. I know that. And we're really going to talk about this Thursday. So I've got a lot of good clips and I've got some specials I'm going to drop on you guys that you can watch on your own because they're so long and there's so much information. So join me for Talon Back. Hi, Kim. Welcome. Welcome. Yeah, Vancouver, BC is so bad. So bad, Kate. I watched a special last night on Vancouver and it was fucking heartbreaking. So I had to bring this story. You sent me that story about the whites. Yeah, I don't want to be disrespectful. They're the inbred family that lives in West Virginia that the soft white underbelly loves to just to put out there to make money. I'm not a big fan of soft white underbelly. I was in the very beginning, but then when I understood what Mark Leahy's about and his little sidekick Lima, which I've done some pretty good in-depth reporting on that. Go follow JB Investigates if you want to know about that story. But of course, this is a person that has court control over Bam Margera. If you don't know who Bam Margera is, he was on the Wild Boys, of course, Jackass, his famous skater. And he's been, deep in the throes of addiction for a long time. And he got caught up in that pay-for-play rehab system. So if you get court ordered to rehab, then the insurance companies come in hand with the rehab facilities, and hey, they're going to make $30,000 more if they say you can't leave and you got to stay, and then the cops get involved and the courts are involved. It's a big nightmare. So Bam Margera's been caught up in that system for a while. His buddies, Jackass buddies, have been trying to clean him up and help him. And it didn't work. They got him on tour this year and then he fell, which is predictable, especially when, you're running with that type of crowd. But anyways, he came out this week and he challenged Johnny Knoxville, the lead of, Jackass, to a boxing match. And I'll just let you guys watch it.
Former Jackass star Bam Margera has called out his former co-stars Johnny Knoxville and Jeff Tremaine for making him sign a death waiver as part of his wellness agreement. Margera alleges that he was forced to take 18 medications while filming Jackass Forever, which caused him negative side effects such as weight gain and impotence. In a recent Instagram video, Margera challenges Knoxville to a fight without boxing gloves and repeatedly insults him. Fans of the franchise have expressed concern for Margera and urged him to focus on his sobriety and family.
Oh, I guess I didn't grab the one where it's only like 30 seconds, so you can find it. But yeah, basically, I'm going to keep an eye on this because I want to know, is Bam going to fight him? I'm trying to get Oz back in this shot. What is going on here? I got Oz by myself.
I'm here.
So, I've done a lot of reporting on Bam and I'm going to keep doing reporting on Bam. I'm sad that he fell. But, the fact that movie production put him on 17 fucking medications and made him sign a death waiver, That's insane. That's why he's pissed. That's why he's calling Knoxville out. You know, him and Knoxville, if you know Jackass and you've watched it for the years like I have, Bam's challenging him. When Bam says, come out and I will fight you, that's a challenge. And we'll see if Knoxville takes it. Yeah, celebrity death match for sure. For sure. But I keep reporting on that because of the whole Lima aspect of it. And Lima still has court consent control over Bam right now, from what I understand. So I will get deeper into that on another show. Oh, did you hear this one, Oz? Just in, the U.S. in the national emergency over COVID.
Oh boy, we've got some of our sisters and brothers on both sides of this issue. They are screaming bloody murder. Oh my gosh. On both sides. Both sides.
Yay,
They're just
it's
like,
over.
boom, boom, boom,
No,
boom,
how
boom.
could you
Yeah.
end it? I need
Yeah,
to wear
mean,
my
there's-
mask.
I don't even, of some of our sisters and brothers who I follow, we just disagree a little bit on the issues. I see it. I just can't even get into it anymore because they're passionate about it. It's just like, wow, crazy. So yeah.
They are very passionate about it, right? Those who want to continue wearing their N95s.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Well, Jimmy got in on it. So public trust in medical scientists has plummeted to 29%, according to the Pew research. And Jimmy says, after being lied to about the COVID vax, lockdowns, and natural immunity and herd immunity and transmission and contractation and mass, etc., for 3 years straight, people are feeling less trusting of medical scientists. It's a real head scratcher.
Yeah, I think it's more like half of that, 15%.
Oh,
So,
God.
yeah.
I know, right? I've been scared to go see a doctor or have found it useless for a long time now.
Honestly, I had apprehension about going and getting this situation taken care of.
Wow.
And that's why I came in at the top of the show and said, if you got a problem, get it taken care of, because one problem can expand into other problems. So
Well, that's a major problem. You know, I watched you get sick behind the scenes over the last 3 years. Because you know what? On 4/20, I looked yesterday, on 4/20, Roar Media turns 3 years old on Rockfin. I am so proud of us. Who would have thought that we would be this far down the road? But when we started, you were raring to go. I mean, you had as much energy as me. You could run circles around me. And then I just watched you, especially as you were doing Combo Couch Engineer for Combo. You just got
I miss
tired.
engineering for them, but that last August was kind of like the breaking point. I just went, and after that, I just didn't have the juice, and unless I can give them 100%, I didn't want to hold them back. But it was time that Pasta learned how to flip the switches anyway, so that helped me out.
He's figuring it out. He is.
Yeah.
Pasta's birthday is Friday, I believe. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We sent him a bunch of X-Lax
good. He needs
for his
it.
birthday, and
good. Glad
Yeah,
he got some X-Lax.
Yeah.
His birthday's what, the 19th or the 20th? One of those days. I'd have to look at, but it's coming. I know it's Friday. It's coming Friday, so hopefully I can get a birthday shout out to him. Okay, one more, and then we'll get to what you're here for. This is DARPA. This is them admitting 10 years ago that they were working on mRNA and how they were going to broach the public and get it out here to us.
In 2012, DARPA, which is the research division of the military, started a program. It's called the Adept Protect P3 program, Pandemic Prevention Platform.
I think it might be.
Look what they proposed. They said, listen, we are going to use gene-encoded vaccines as a new category of preventive measures based on RNA or DNA, and in this approach, we will stop a pandemic within 60 days. Within 60 days, in 2012, this was started. When President Trump came out and said it's Operation Warp Speed and they're going to develop vaccines, it would have been nice if he was prepped, or Anthony Fauci was prepped, to say, listen, we're working on this. We've been working on this since 2012. This is not new. This isn't warp speed. This is 10 years in coming. The deception out in the open that this was rapidly developed, that there was all this stunning innovation. The contractors, Moderna got its first multi-million-dollar contract in 2013. The military works on programs, both the threat, SARS-CoV-2, and work on the answer, monoclonal antibodies and vaccines. But the military has biological threat programs. There's one for smallpox, monkeypox, there's one for anthrax, and who knows how many more programs. This was part of a program. But the military came up with the idea of messenger RNA vaccines, not Pfizer or Moderna, not Operation Warp Speed. It wasn't in response to what was, came out of Wuhan, China. This is a military program. When it was announced by Health and Human Services, Alex Azar, in the Department of Defense, that's who entered into this, ushered us into the vaccine era. The military. Emergency use authorization is a mechanism to get rapid new technology into the military. It's not a mechanism for the public. Its first application broadly to the public was with the COVID-19 pandemic. That's the reason why.
So just a reminder that, it didn't start in 2020. Of course, DARPA had their plans. And I just have a question. If you watched my reporting yesterday, I covered the new Marburg virus, Marburg, I think is how they pronounce it, virus that they're keeping an eye on, right? I wonder if they already have an RNA, RMNA, whatever, for that one. Because that one's fucking scary. That one's really
I just read
scary.
an article this morning that they've allocated several $1 billion for a new improved vaccine coming up. And if they want any names for it, I would put forth first name. It comes to mind, finish you off vaccine, or something like that. It's crazy. The investment is going towards the military industrial complex, the pharmaceutical industrial complex, all the big ones, the energy industrial complex, fossil fuels. None of it is going into the people who are born and die on this rock. It's all about enriching a few overlords, and we really have gone back to medieval times where the kings and queens rule over us all. And nothing surprises me anymore. So I don't know what to say.
Amber says, so it's Marburg. And they keep saying Marbug when I watch the.
Yeah, that's Marburg. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it's Marburg, but they keep saying Marburg when I watch the main local newses. But Amber says when you start human trials, you always get a nice outbreak. It's a great sales mechanism. Yeah,
Sure.
Absolutely. And
Sure.
Didn't we just have Gates tell us a couple of 6 weeks ago that you guys ain't seen shit yet? The one that's coming is going to be scary. And the COVID was nothing compared to what we got for you guys. I mean, that's what I took from him.
A lot of times people think, oh, he made a mistake and he slip of the tongue. No, they don't slip of the tongue.
Yeah, they don't slip of the
they're
tongue.
setting you up.
Exactly.
It's like putting your chin in the spot, ready to get it kicked.
Soft disclosure. Hell yeah. We see it all the time.
That's part of the tactic. So,
It's a part of the tactic.
Yeah.
So that's as far as we're going to go on COVID on YouTube, because I have something else, but it might get us in trouble. So
okay. We don't want to get in trouble by the overlords over there.
Well,
We're
the
already in trouble
overlords,
with
they
them.
don't like it when you tell truths. But I thought this was funny because it's kind of true. People who don't reply until days later, and why. So it is a relatively very new phenomenon that basically anyone in your life gets access to you at all times. It was only 20 years ago that if you left the house for a day, you were actually gone. You returned messages when you came back, hours or even days later. Basically, I prefer this sometimes, and I absolutely do. What do you think about people having full access to you at all times, Oz?
Well, once we signed on to the smartphone, it was all over.
You're right. It was the smartphone.
Yeah. Not only did they give you an addictive instrument,
Dopamine hit.
Dopamine hit. You and I both. All of us find it a little withdrawal when we set our smartphones down and just go for a walk or something.
Oh, but I so enjoy it. I mean, I do.
You've got to wean yourself off of it, and the hypocrisy here is that we're so engaged, but I'm trying to, and you are too. We're trying to get away from it at least for a couple of days a week.
Yeah, no, I do. I have to get up. I get screen sickness, and screen sickness is going to be a real thing as we go further in the future. Yeah. I get screen sickness. I get dizzy. I get nauseous just looking at too many screens all day long.
It's not kidding. You might not think you're ever going to get that. And I didn't think I'd get it 20 years ago, but in the last year with my other maladies, I've got screen sicknesses. I've got 10 screens. When they're all on, I'm looking at all of them.
Right, right. I've got 4. So
Yeah.
yeah, and then that doesn't include my phone or anything else I have with me. So
Yeah.
yeah, screen sickness is real. So, people call it Havana sickness because Havana sickness seems to be the same as screen sickness. I mean, it's the same symptoms:
Mhm.
nausea, dizzy. Who
Yeah.
knows? Is it our routers that are radiating us? Is it
No,
Wi-Fi
it's
that's
a
radiating
combination
us?
of all your
Yeah,
health issues. You don't get up and walk around and make that blood pump through your body. You know,
yeah.
your legs are in a stationary position for 6 hours.
Oh
It
my God, I
starts
know
to
my hip's
coagulate. I
killing
mean,
because
it's
of
no
it.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's terrible. It's
I
terrible.
noticed I'm getting a bad hip from sitting all day. I've always been a very active person. Okay, so the reason that you're here, let's talk about it. And I just got to ask, what the fuck is terracotta and truth in FU major? Is this a boomerism? Because
It is a boomerism. It is a
okay, this
boomerism.
has to be a boomerism.
1975, there was a movie called Rollerball that came out, and it starred James Caan
Right.
and Maude Adams. And the movie was about how corporations have taken over society, and they socially conditioned the populace by getting them addicted to a game. And it was reminiscent of Rome and the games, or the Hunger Games for that matter. And I liked toccata and fugue in D minor. It's da 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 da.
Okay.
And that's why I've got the music score for that. But I thought it would be find it kind of novel to play around with it, since this show Thursday night is typical of Beauty and the Boomer, where you come to kind of get a break from the raw, painful information that the week drives through your eye socket, but a little fun and levity. But this is just going to be a test for and we've been talking, Amber's been pushing a game show for
years,
last 2-3 years, in which we agree with her, but we just never got around to implementing it for different stuff.
We've tried.
It's going to be a very simple trivia like game. You're going to be like Alex Trebek and I'm going to be Vanna White, and we've invited our friends from INN News over. That would be Reef and Colin and Indy, and
I'm excited. I've never hung out with any of them, so
they're going to be the guinea pigs. They've graciously stepped up to it, and I must disclose, I don't think they had any idea when I invited them that this was what it's going to be about. But there's going to be a block of questions, and we're going to test their knowledge. And this is nice because the chat can participate too. And I'll keep an eye on the chat to see who beats them to the point, but no cheating, everybody. You got a computer in front of you, and I know you can get the answer. But all I've got to do now, I've got the questions. Linda and I worked on the questions.
Nice. I'm excited to see the questions. I love trivia.
We've got to figure out how to actuate them, either where they hit a buzzer or something. I haven't quite got that figured out yet, but it should be fun. And you get to be the host with the most and ask the questions and say, "Oh, for the winner, the answer is yes." And I
get to be Alex Trebek. I get to go watch the SNL skits where Connery is making fun of Trebek, because that's the way I'm going to be.
Yeah, I mean, if we can, pull this, it's just a mindless 2 hours that we set aside to give you a break, because we know how engaged and how smart our chat is. Just come and don't have any expectations of getting information of the day. It's just going to be a break. Take a break, come on over, have a little fun with us. And if you haven't met any of the INN folks who follow this one, it's your chance. Very thoughtful group. So
definitely go follow INN.
Besides, I needed something to get my mind in a loop on while I'm convalescing here. So
no, I'm glad you woke up driven this weekend, like, I got something and we're doing it. Like, okay, if you feel like it, I'm on board. Let's do it.
Thursday night, 7 p.m. Pacific. And we won't be on the YouTube. It'll be on...
YouTube for this one, right?
Yeah, it'll be on Rockfin and Rumble because, we're booted off of YouTube, I think, until Friday anyway. But we're not too keen about jumping hot into YouTube anyway. So,
but we're going to be back for Beauty and the Boomer on Saturday, right? Does our suspension lift by then?
Unless they take us down forever.
Which they can do at any time, right? I mean, this one, they went back 7 months and got us. So they could go back 3 years and get us for something. If they want us gone, which they do, they're getting us there.
We're trying to play nice, but maybe they don't find us funny. I don't know. I think we have some funny moments. So
I thought it was hilarious when I said you should put a stake through the,
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it. I know
But-
I'm on YouTube. I live and learn, right?
Yeah.
1 o'clock, guys. Amber, she's got the stream set up, so you can follow it over on our Rockfin. 4 years in Belmarsh, so you get to watch the live streams coming out of DC, the Department of Justice. So please tune in. I know I'm going to be tuned in. I want to hear everybody's speeches. I'm excited to see who's there. I'm sad that I'm not there. Sad, Amber. I'm sad. Aren't you sad, Amber? I'm sad. We should be there. I feel left out. Like, damn it. I've been
There'll be
how
plenty
many
of
times?
opportunities. I got to tell you, they're coming. Man, are they coming?
But we have a special event coming up on Sunday where we will be meeting with Gabriel Shipton. Hopefully we can get an interview with him or some of the panels or moderators. Of course, we're going to be there for the screening and Q&A of Ithaca. And this, of course, is a fight to free Julian Assange. This is the story told by his family. Right? Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I understood it. So yeah, I'm excited. Amber and I are going to be doing that. If you're in the area, get tickets. Here, I'll bring it back up again. Just screenshot that little QR code and it'll take you right there. If there's tickets left, they were selling out fast when we got ours this weekend. So it should be a good event. So we will be bringing that. We got a lot of stuff coming on this week. Of course, we've got our game show and we got that, and Beauty and the Boomers coming back, and we got Uncensored Trailer Park Pundit on Friday. So it's nonstop all week. And let's see, if you want to write Julian Assange, please write him and write him in big bold letters. There's his address, screenshot the screen. And it doesn't have to be much, guys. All it has to be is a postcard that says, we love you, we're fighting for you, we're with you. Something that simple, just to give him hope. I mean, in a world as dire as his is right now, hope is all you have, right? And I got to think that anytime a postcard comes in with a beautiful picture on it, it lightens his heart a little bit, right? I know it would mine. When you're in jail, that's the best thing is mail, man. You get a connection to the outside world. Okay, Oz, I think we are out of here. I'm so glad that you came and hung out with me. I won't keep you
Thanks for
too
having
long.
me.
No, I'm so glad you're back. I'm glad you're feeling better, and I'm excited for your creative things coming up.
Yeah.
You doing?
You are doing it to hell and back Thursday.
Yes,
right?
DC. As far as I know, I will reach out to Pasta, but even if Pasta dogs out on me, normally I will cover it. So yeah, to hell and back. And I've got a lot of stuff for to hell and back. Like I said, I'm going to bring you guys a bunch of links of specials that you can watch. Some of them are an hour, 2 hours. I can't, we could do a watch party, but I don't normally do a watch party when we're, doing it to hell and back. So I will bring you guys a lot of good stuff. To hell and back Thursday, Uncensored Trailer Park Pundit Friday, Beauty and the Boomers Saturday. Thursday night we have what are you calling it? What are we calling it?
Takata and Truth
Takata
in
Truth.
FU major. And
Okay.
if anybody wants to know what FU stands for, it's Friends United.
Oh, that's what those ladies were yelling at me.
Yeah, that's it. Friends United. Friends United.
Karen, I didn't know you cared. Yeah. So, and then Sunday you can join Amber and I. I don't know how we're going to work those live streams, but now that we've learned to pull the trigger on our own stuff, we'll figure it out. I think you should take Sunday off, and I will manage to get a live stream up for us. So. No worries there. Shout out to all my chats. Jilly Love, thank you. Jim, Fred Edwards, Amber King. Who else is in here? DC. DC says happy early anniversary. Thank you so much for the Super Ray over on the Roar Media Rockfin. We appreciate it. That's how we covered our tickets to the Assange event this week. So thank you so much. It helps out. To everybody, Anthony. Anthony, I love your signs. Get out there with your signs. Aram, thank you so much for the donations. Of course, Aram hit me with a donation last week and I missed it at the end. I was so sad, but we appreciate it. NCG, thank you so much for joining us. I love seeing new names in the chat, and of course our YouTube chat. I don't have a very big YouTube following, so my YouTube doesn't have a lot of people on it. Hit that like button if you're not subscribed to it. Of course, I've been using that channel since B&B has been down, but Red Cloud, DC. Oh, trying to see who else is in here. Kate, I saw Kate was here for a little bit, but I think Kate had to take off. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, Kate was in here. I don't want to leave everybody out. Gamer and whoever was over on the Rumble. Apparently, I'm the only one on the Rumble. I mean, there's people watching, but nobody's chatting. So hit those like buttons, share it out for us, help us build the crowd, because every time YouTube kicks us, we take hits on viewership, you know, every time. So it's hard to rebuild them back up. So we appreciate it. I got a great closer, Oz. It is Sleeping Sickness. It is a cover by Desiree. And yeah, I'm going to let you out of here. You guys tune in 1 o'clock. So in an hour and 10 minutes, the Assange event starts. Get out there and fight the live streams and support them. Have a great day. We will see you Thursday. See, now this is what I did yesterday, and I smoked pot and wiped my nose the whole show. I'm going to block myself out. There we go. Okay.
Are you woke only to find my lungs empty through the night? So it seems I'm not breathing, and now my dreams are nothing like they were meant to be, and I'm breaking down. I think I'm breaking down. And I'm afraid to sleep because of what haunts me. Such as living with the uncertainty. I never find the words to say which would completely explain. Oh, just how I'm breaking down. Someone come and save my life. Maybe I'll sleep when I am dead, but now it's like the night is taking sides. With all the worries that occupy the back of my mind, couldn't it be this misery will survive? I've become a simple souvenir of someone's kill. And like the sea, I'm constantly changing from calm to ill. Madness fills my heart and soul, as if the great divine could swallow me whole. Oh, just how I'm breaking down.